You are now entering the box. Welcome back to Inside the Box. Today we have a couple here, Celeste and Brennan Malum. What's going on?
Hello.
Welcome. So you guys got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's start with Fed. How long ago did you guys start Fed?
2019.
Yeah.
What prompted that?
Honestly, we moved back home and we had a little one and we were trying to get back onto consistently eating healthy. And we've always kind of dabbled with like meal prep and doing that ourselves. But we came back here and we were like, wow, there's not many options. And we know that the nutrition is the foundation for everything. If you want to be optimal, you want to feel good, you want to be able to stay with your family, we went and had to open it. So Celeste had this brainstorm idea to just, what if we made it on a mass scale for people to make it easier? And if you make it easy, you make it convenient, and people love convenient and they love easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other part of the story was, so I just graduated with my master's. I have an MBA in business, and I was at home all of a sudden with this little baby, and Brennan wanted me to
work.
Well, he wanted me to stay home, and I was like, oh man, I'm just sitting home educated. I didn't think that I could just stay home. And so, and all the hours that the little one was sleeping, I put together this intricate business plan and then showed it to a couple people, and they were like, wow, I've never seen a business plan like this. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, this is just what I thought all business plans look like. But then I was like, all right, let's actually do this. Let's start small. And if it doesn't work, then I'm never afraid to try something, kind of like you. And if it fails, like, okay, on to the next thing. And so we started small, and we're 6 years in. It's been going really well.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I remember when you were first getting started, had the opportunity to help you perfect that logo, that first design of that logo.
Absolutely.
So
People love our logo, so thank you for that.
That's a cool logo. I'm glad that we had the opportunity to help kind of get that dialed in. Yeah, that's exciting, man. We've been, Jess and I actually over the last, her a little bit longer than me, we've gotten into, being healthier and stuff like that. So we've actually we've been using this app, Ladder. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
God, great fucking app.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, they did a good job with that.
With the
app.
workouts too?
Yeah. Yeah. So we do all of our workouts through there every morning, and I'm like, if I can make an excuse, I will. So I join gyms, you know what I mean? And it's like, I joined a gym 5 minutes from my house, and I would still wake up and I'm like, I gotta drive to the gym by the time I get there. So eventually I just invested and put a bunch of gym equipment in the basement. It was the best decision I ever made.
Does that remove the barrier? So
yeah, you got to remove any excuse. So
as
now
little friction as
the
possible
only
to make it happen.
Yeah, literally the only excuse is going downstairs and doing it.
Right.
And kudos to her, because she actually started using it more than me, and it motivated me. Like, okay, I got to get down there and use this shit. I bought it. I'm not even using it.
Yeah.
But that app has just made it super easy, because it's just you just get on there, you see what your workout is every day. You kind of pick your coach based on the equipment you have and your goals.
Yeah.
So we've loved it. It's been nice.
Yeah, and I will say, I feel like whenever you get your lifestyle habits together, everything else just clicks. Like the healthier we are, I feel like the better that business is, the better my brain's working. Just when you feel good, everything else falls in place.
We all have these center habits that kind of center us. They find our value each day. And if we hit those little micro goals, most other things fall into place.
Yeah.
But if you don't, everything starts to fall off. The domino falls afterwards.
Yeah. And what's your background? Because you've been to school. Do you have a
I have my master's as a physician's assistant, so in medicine. I practice at Orthopedic Center of Illinois.
Okay.
Shout out OCI. And also I have a background in kinesiology and a degree in dietetics as well. So I do that. We have a health coaching company. We do nutrition, training for people. I'm a certified strength conditioning specialist. Honestly, one of my favorite things is just giving people these simple, small steps to get healthy. It's even the people who are trying to get jacked and ripped and all these things, it comes down to these constant habits, consistent. Now, they may have more turned up the volume on those, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's anything different than the person trying to lose weight. Or one of my favorite things, because we got 2 little ones now, is transferring those habits into children. And I love it with coaching. I'm definitely huge into kids coaching, like youth sports, and I think it just has such transfer over to who they become as men, women, their character in life.
Yeah, for sure. No, and that's one thing that's nice is just your kids seeing you work out and do
seeing
healthy
you
things,
be it.
hopefully, we don't I mean, we like, come over here, work out with us or whatever, and they do sometimes, but just seeing it, and they're still pretty young, so hopefully they get more interested in it. And yeah, it's cool. It's fun. I feel good, and I've changed. It's been hard. Like, I've always been such a night owl. Like, literally my whole life, I'm like up till 3 a.m. every day. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I think that I used to deliver newspapers, so I was up at like 5, 6 a.m. every morning. So I think mornings just got killed for me. So I've been slowly transitioning to like going to bed earlier, and now I'm pretty good. I'm usually up by between 5 and 6, usually closer to 6. But and then it gives me time to get my workout in, get some breakfast, and get out the door.
I got a saying for that. You got to do your selfish things at unselfish times.
Yeah,
you gotta wake up a lot earlier to
get that workout in the morning.
Yeah, otherwise, I sometimes I'll do it at night if I'm like super tired and I just like don't feel like getting up and need a little extra because I was up a little late for whatever reason. But yeah, it's been awesome, man. Felt good. So I know I
feel like you're looking better too, man. You look solid.
Yeah, you look lean. You
increase
look
that vitality a little bit.
Yeah,
amazing.
She has this, and maybe you can give some insight to this. She has this scale, and the scale tells you like so much shit just from standing on it, and like the energy through your feet or something.
Yeah,
how's that shit work?
It's just measuring electrical impedance. So it's measuring how fast the electrical current goes from one side to the other side.
It can get all that information. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you can think about this like
enough.
close
it's
enough.
Close.
Yeah, but think about this like it's measuring how fast electricity goes. So you can change that with a lot of things. How much water? How much electrolytes did you drink last night?
So the way to do it is to make the variables the same.
Yes.
So if you do it like like once a week, then I would make sure if you worked out the first time, make sure you've already worked out.
Right.
If you're doing it as soon as you wake up and go pee in the morning, then the next time you do it as soon as you wake up and go pee in the morning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you kind of eliminate any other extra variables.
Yeah,
that's
because I
the
did
most
it at
accurate.
night before bed one time, and then in the morning.
Yeah.
And it was very different.
Yeah, you were
Yes.
probably a lot more body fat afterwards in the morning for sure. Actually.
Yeah, it's crazy though. It's like it tells you like your protein, your like metabolic age, like it just breaks down a bunch of stuff.
The withering one, I think, is the one you guys probably have then.
I don't know what it is. I can't remember what the brand is. It's not like a super expensive one. So,
but they have a lot of cool things, man. It's shaping out for a lot for fun. Even watches now. I don't know which one you're messing with, but they tell you so much intricate data, like how much your heart rate's varying, even, which is it's amazing to see what that has impacts on.
Yeah. What do you guys? Are those?
We do
Google
a Garmin.
one? Garmin's?
We do Garmin.
Garmin's are
we've
nice.
tried
I was
them all.
looking at them.
Yeah.
I thought about the Whoop band.
We did the Whoop band. We played the Whoop game for a little bit. I like having a screen, and Whoop gives you a score based on like strain. It's like 1 to 26. This has something called body battery. It's a 0 to 100 score of how well recovered you are based on the spacing between your heartbeats, heart rate variability, and it's easily applicable. Like, okay, this is how I'm feeling, and it's really cool data when you look back on it. Like drinking, for instance, I will be for the next 3 days. My body battery score will be demolished if we eat within 2 or 3 hours bedtime. You've noticed that heavily.
If you have the TV on when you go to sleep, it ruins your sleep.
And I mean,
it's
guilty.
a real thing.
I like a movie night with the family sometimes. But man, I know what in my head. I'm like, I know what this is doing.
It kills at least 30%.
Not even enjoying this now.
I know. I'm like feeling guilty about it. Or if
my sleep is being ruined.
Or if my kid has a game the next day, we're like having a movie night the night before. I'm like, I'm not priming this athlete the way I should.
No, we don't. If we have a game in the morning,
I know we're good about
TV,
it. But I used
you're an athlete, dude. We're going to treat you like an athlete. That means you need to get optimal recovery.
This 7-year-old's like freaking jacked, dude. Running Ninja Warrior courses 3 times through without rest. I don't know what's going on. What do I got this kid on?
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's your, what kind of, vitamins and different things, like what kind of stuff do you normally do during the day?
We only do a couple of them.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to go down the rabbit hole and pick all these things. I cycle things that I think are useful. I think everyone should probably be on creatine, nearly everyone. Creatine is a useful tool cognitively.
And even the women.
Even the women, for sure. It will boost strength, it will maintain muscle mass, even if you don't work out. It's a cognitive enhancer, so you think better when you're taking creatine. And if you don't get a lot of sleep that night, I did this when we bonded Poppos, and I am largely with these businesses. I'm the science mind. I love ideas and unique things, but she's the business mind. So she puts them to work, but she put me to work on fixing it with my dad. And we were having late nights, 4 hours sleep, 5 hours sleep sometimes, and then having to go repeat the next day. And creatine's been shown in high doses. If you take it, you will not be no cognitive detriment to you the next day, which there's not many supplements that do that. So I was only getting 4 hours sleep, and you wake up tired still, but you have no depreciation, your reaction time, your ability to have a conversation, which is useful as an adult with kids who has to do adult things and try to run businesses. Like, that's a very useful tool. So there's one. I'm a big believer in fish oil, liquid fish oil, or cod liver oil. I think ZMA, or like vitamin D and ZMA, zinc and magnesium, are the 3 minerals that are probably the most efficient for people. So I think most people should be on a zinc and magnesium supplement, preferably magnesium threonate or glycinate because it crosses the blood-brain barrier. Zinc piconate, you don't have to worry about that one so much. And then a fish oil, a quality fish oil, like a liquid, so you know it's not rancid, goes so far. Like it has almost a panacea effect. It has so many things it helps.
Yeah.
Why not take it?
Yeah, liquid fish oil.
You mean like a straight liquid?
Yeah.
Like I do fish oil every you know, I
Capsules.
take a capsule every morning. It's got liquid in it.
The only problem with those is you're storing them in like a pantry, right? And you wouldn't store fish into a pantry. So this liquid fish oil is stored in the fridge, so it doesn't get rancid. It's just a higher quality. Carlson's is the brand that we use, but that one is, I mean,
And it
it's
sounds
invaluable.
I can tell you, I can taste your taste buds right now, man. I feel like, ooh, liquid fish
not
oil.
bad.
Yeah. I mean, my 2-year-old comes around at night. We're like, time to get better. And he comes, fish oil. Yeah. We got a lemon flavor one. It tastes pretty good, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
So simple list of supplements. And then you have all these other ones. But
Oh yeah.
like for a little cognitive benefit, whatever your goal is, you can throw in a couple more.
Yeah. I
Depending
was
on what it is.
curious.
Yeah.
Because
that's
again,
pretty-
just I've gotten more into it. So like my kind of daily thing that I usually do is I'll do my workout in the morning, and then I do protein and creatine.
There you go, baby.
Take a multivitamin and fish oil, and then before have breakfast, usually some eggs and bacon, whatever, and then before I leave, I do I have like a collagen peptide powder, and then at night I do a calcium vitamin and a magnesium vitamin.
There you go.
Yeah.
I maybe move the calcium one because they compete with each other for absorption. So you're
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
I moved the calcium a little bit there, but you're doing well. Like
I started doing that because I was getting, I would wake up with cramps in my legs all the time, and I drink a shitload of water during the day, and
Are you drinking electrolyte water?
Ooh,
I don't know if I get enough electrolytes.
should have brought you an element, man.
Yeah, it
We
might
have one
be.
of
That
those.
might be.
Our water
might be
is
part of
just
it.
doesn't have the
It's
quality
depleted.
in it that it used to.
Yeah.
And it's stripped of everything, and
Yeah.
so you really should start adding in electrolytes, especially if you're working out, you're sweating. I mean, electrolytes are. If you're
Yeah.
cramping, I would
Yeah,
definitely be
like
doing
an Element.
we use Element, LMNT.
Okay.
But that
And we're
one-
just name dropping all ladder element. We're just name dropping everything today. But I agree, Element's phenomenal. And
Give,
we have
us the
it.
sponsorships.
Yeah. Well, Element does Element sponsors Poppo, so we got them
Nice.
there if you want them.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, and just trying to get healthier. And as I've learned more, watching podcasts and stuff.
Try
it's
ZMA at
interesting.
night too. Honestly, instead of just magnesium, ZMA, so zinc and magnesium, you'll get a lot deeper sleep. So even if you're not sleeping long, you can't increase the x-axis. You can increase the deepness, the quality with the y-axis.
Yeah, I tried the On It like pill packs for a while.
The Alpha Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's their like morning and night pill
Oh
packs.
yeah, I
like
take those
their,
sometimes too.
Yeah, it's just expensive.
Yeah,
for-
and there's a lot of
for
pills. You're taking like 20 pills a
it's
day.
a
I'm like,
shitload
oh
of
man,
pills, yeah.
I like to keep it simple most of the time. Yeah.
They were good though. I like the, I feel like I felt good taking them or whatever, but it works out to like, I don't know, like $2 or $3 a day, which is a little expensive. I feel like.
And in my head too, like when like individualize your supplements, like, oh, this one has this benefit, you think about it, but On It just like, here's everything, shotgun
Right.
it. So
Super easy.
there's something that's like the placebo effect has a real effect on everything, like you do.
And again, just trying to take,
Yeah, 20
not
pills.
having to think about it as enough. It's like, all right, this is everything I need. This sounds good. So Fed, you guys for the longest just had fridges at different places that people picked up, but now you and Poppo's have merged.
Yes. So yeah, our model, and we still operate with this model, but a pre-order model where we had a large commercial kitchen. It was out the frontage road out by UIS. It was kind of not convenient for pickup, and so our model was, okay, we'll just pick up refrigerators all around town and have customers just pick up there. But we were growing so much, and we realized the west side is largely where most of our market is, and so we were like, it would be nice to have our own location as a pickup, because also whenever you're interdependent on
you
other
can go, stuff's there.
yeah, whenever you're, there was a situation one time where one of the refrigerators at a location got turned off because there's a power button and a light button right next to it, and the
hit the
power
wrong
got switched
thing.
off. So the next day we had to go in and remake like $3,000 of food because it was spoiled. And that was, whenever it's not your location, you don't have control over those things. And that's fine. I mean, it's still worth it, but we were just kind of like, we needed a west side location. So we were looking, and we were about to pull the trigger.
Yeah, we were looking everywhere.
We had been looking honestly for like a year and a half, but location's so important, that and so we've been looking, and I really wanted to find somewhere that already had a kitchen built out because financially it's less of an investment. And we were about to pull a trigger on one location. It was going to be a huge investment. We're going to have to change the building that we were renting, put about $100K into a building we were renting. And I just didn't really have peace with that. And then Will Hoeker was like, hey, what do you think about, merging? And I'm like, well, at first I was like, well, we'll just run two businesses out of one and like we'll keep it separate. He's like, no, let's combine it. Like, let's just do one thing.
Which has been even more fun. So
and
shout
it's actually
out to
been
Will.
fun. Yeah, honestly, Will, I've known Will for 15, 16 years. He's
almost a
easy to
mentor
work with.
initially.
Great businessman.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I never thought we'd have like a cafe. I never really wanted a cafe. But it's been nice because, now we also do this. I'm a latte. I always say I'm a latte and meal prep girl. So it's awesome because with Fed Kitchen, we have the meal prep. But if I'm going to have some kind of calories, I love it with a latte. So that works out. But again, we also now have a brick and mortar where customers, another avenue that we knew that we could increase was to sell grab and goes, because most of our model is pre-order and not everybody wants to pre-order or they forget. We run into that a lot. So now we stock grab and go meals in a fridge at Poppo's so customers can just come and grab, and we sell out every week and we keep increasing the amount. Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun.
We're trying to get dial that number up right, and it just people keep buying. And it makes sense. Why do most people fail when they're trying to eat healthy? Lack of preparation, or just because they need something quick. So having that right there makes absolute sense.
Yeah, I think people think, we sell like meal prep. And it's like, yes, we sell meal prep, but what we're really selling is healthy convenience.
Yeah, exactly. That's
and people want that because people are so busy now. I mean, even us, I stock my fridge with meal prep every week because the amount of time that I have to prep our meals is just going down more and more the busier I get and the more our kids get in sports. So it's so easy to... Like, I see why parents will just run to McDonald's because they're not doing it because they know it's healthy. They're doing it because they literally have limited time. And they have been busy all day long. Then sports, by the time they get... they just need something fast.
Decisional fatigue by the end of the day.
We fixed that problem. We found a solution to that, and that's healthy, convenient meal prep.
Yeah, convenient. Selling anything you can offer. That's why Uber is freaking blew up because it's just so convenient. You just pull your phone out and call it Uber.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being downtown in my younger days, at nighttime, trying to get a damn cab.
Oh,
and
man.
Fucking wait an hour, and then it might not even show up.
I've walked home from here to the west side before.
It was
not fun.
Yeah, so no, anytime a business can offer convenience is a big opportunity.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a space that's not, no one's really doing anything. Does do all the meals, do they all cost the same?
They're around
the same.
11.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And you're not going to find another
honestly, it's cheaper than fast food. You
the price per protein.
Go through somewhere and get a meal, you're spending $13.
Yeah, everything's so damn expensive. It's crazy.
Unfortunately,
and nothing. And there's no fast, healthy drive-through you can hit. You know what I mean?
Except Poppo's has a drive-through.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And just shout out, when we took over Poppo's, we changed a lot of their menu, so we have healthy options ready to go there for lunch.
Yeah.
breakfast.
So with the merger, because at first Will was like, should we just wipe the slate clean and just do a Fed Kitchen cafe and make it all healthy? And I was like, I love offering healthy to the community, but I think it's still important to offer the sugary lattes or the big cinnamon rolls. I think for Poppo's, it's been awesome because it's a place where you can go and have lunch with somebody. If you are trying to eat healthy, there's some Fed Kitchen bowls on the menu that you can put over white rice or cauliflower rice, and you can feel good about the meal you're eating. And if your friend's not as interested in that or is just not there yet, they can get a BLT and a cookie. So it's just it's an awesome spot where we don't only sell healthy, but we have the option because there's a lot of times where you want to go. I know myself personally, I want to go eat somewhere healthy and meet a friend, but they're like, dude, I don't want to eat core.
And I want healthy desserts.
I don't want to
awesome.
eat, I don't want to get a salad somewhere. And so this is one spot where you can go and I can eat my healthy option. They can get whatever they want.
But our salads are so bomb though too. The Nashville Caesar, I'm not a salad guy by any means, but Nashville chicken Caesar salad is,
we have some really good items. We have a lot of good reviews about, because
do many people ever just get the ready to go meals and just eat them there?
Oh yeah, it's happened before.
Yeah, yes. Most of the time they get them to go, but again, on our menu we have 4 or 5 technically Fed Kitchen bowls. So a lot of times they'll just get it. You can get a meal prep live. Mm-hmm. So you can order, even to the drive-thru, you can order a hot, ready to go,
a Frisco bowl
they just put together.
Okay, nice.
So.
Mm-hmm. So how's it been? Good. You said you sell out of those all the time, and
it's been really good.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a seamless merge. That was one of the things I feel like when we were looking at locations, when this opportunity presented itself, I'm a believer in God, and I just feel like I was like, God, if this is the way, make it easy. And the other investment route we were going to go, it was just like one thing after the next. It just didn't seem easy. There wasn't a lot of peace about it. It just was like, it almost felt like God was trying to like close the door, and I kept trying to like say, well, is there an option here, you know? And then with the merger, it was just everything's been seamless.
Nice.
So it's been really good. I feel like the community has been really receptive to it. Again, they were happy that we didn't get rid of a lot of the items.
We still got some giant. You can get a big old cinnamon roll there.
You guys asked too, right? I feel like I remember seeing a video where you're like, "What menu items do you want us to keep?" or something like that.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in trying to see like what do people want, because one thing with our health coaching company that we've learned is the perfect plan on paper may not be the most adherable plan, and if they can't adhere to it, it's not going to work.
Matter.
So we try to ask, like, what do you want? Because like if I made like these perfect meal preps where there's not one bad ingredient on there, like that's only gonna last so long. We've all done it. We've all tried the chicken broccoli rice or chicken and veggie diet, and it lasts a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 months, and then we're done. And so I really like to get feedback about what people are wanting so that we can kind of meet them in the middle. Like, okay, you guys want some Doritos in a meal? We'll make a chicken broccoli rice meal, flavor the chicken ranch, throw 10 grams of Doritos on top, and so it's like meeting them in the middle. Like it
gives you that
like
gustatory
Doritos.
win.
It tastes like Doritos, but you're eating chicken broccoli and rice. So we love to meet them in the middle.
It's a trick we kind of learned when we were doing our own meal prep. Like you can get all these flavor profiles that you really love, and you can make it super healthy. Like it doesn't have to be Doritos. It can be like chicken crusted Doritos. Like it's literally amazing how that little bit has no calories, but it makes it was marginal
like 20
amount.
Calories,
But it changes the whole flavor profile. And that's the whole concept of Fed was, can we make healthy taste delicious? Can we give people these little gustatory ranch? Here's some ranch that are like gustatory wins. Here's some ranch. Here's some Doritos. Here's something that's familiar to you that makes you feel good about eating, but you're eating healthy. So now it makes it super easy, which makes it consistent.
Like one of our top sellers is called a Fed Mac bowl, and so it's kind of like it's like a burger bowl, and you have like almost like Big Mac sauce. So I couldn't obviously call it like a Big Mac bowl. So I'm like, oh, let's call it the Fed Mac bowl. But it's a top seller because whenever you're eating it, like it's over a bed of rice. It's cooked and cooled, which is way healthier, by the way. But whenever you're eating it, you know, it kind of reminds you of a Big Mac, but there's like no guilt in it. And so we love those kind of entrees where people don't feel like they're eating healthy. You know, like they are eating healthy, but they don't feel like, oh, you know, I have to get this down the hatch somehow.
Yeah.
That's where we're different. That's
eating
where
healthy has just become eating, right?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be, oh, I'm eating healthy now. I'm just eating. And this eating healthy is the requisite. That's how we all eat now.
Yeah. No, I can completely relate with what you're saying, because like I started somewhat meal prepping. Like I just bake a bunch of chicken, you know, on the weekends and separate it into a bunch of container. Yeah, I mean meal prep, and basically I always just cook it with rice, but I just find myself switching up whatever sauce I put on it.
Sauce is a seasoning.
I'm like, this is the only way to like get something so it's not the same thing all the time, just forcing the food
Sauces
down.
and seasonings are the way of life if you're trying to mix it up.
So I'll usually do like 2 different seasonings, and then just whatever sauce I have available to switch it up. But yeah, it's just it makes it nice because like I sometimes like there was a lot of times I didn't even eat lunch because I'm just here like going, and obviously that's not the best thing either. But just, you know, cheap and easy to do. Know what I'm eating. Don't have to think about it. Just go in there and cook it up and ready to go.
You get it on repeat. It's good. Having consistent meals is one of the trends of somebody who gets healthy. They eat consistently the same or the same few consistent meals because that's just how they do it, and it makes a routine out of it.
Yeah.
But honestly, you asked about how she reached out to the customers. I think that's the cool thing about small businesses like you and Fed. Like you can hear the outreach of the customer by putting that out there, and they have a voice which makes them feel excited about the business. Yeah,
I haven't looked. Do you still run 2 social medias? Does Fed have its own, and then is it Fed Poppos have like?
Yeah, and that's we always come back to like, how were we going to do a merger? Well, we're going to like do, but Poppos has its own brand and following. And Fed Kitchen has its own brand and following. And so we were like, how do we do this? And so we're almost trying to position it as kind of like a Pisa's like Bun Gourmet, where it's like they have that cafe with its like Pisa's candies that you can like buy there. And so it's almost like, you know, Fed Kitchen at Poppo's, even though it's at one. But yeah, so I actually run way more social medias than just 2. But yeah, we are keeping the social media separate for now until we figure that out. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's obviously, if you have the time benefit to having them separate for sure. Does the name of the Poppo's one are both things in the name on that?
We
Just curious.
so this is an old. We're trying to run through old cups still.
Yeah, shout out
but
for this
we
Lucky Charm. What is Lucky Charm latte, or what do you call it?
Cereal milk latte.
Cereal milk latte.
Yes.
This is delicious. Usually I'm drinking shitty coffee.
This was her creation, her baby that she brought to life.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is a good one. But yeah, we've basically took the logo you created for Fed and just put it. I think it's on this side.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're doing, like kind of like a merged effect again, because we kept going back and forth. Do we do Fed Kitchen Cafe? Do we like what do
Change
we
the name
do
completely?
here? And so
Yeah.
let's just push them together.
So do you kind of have both things on the Fed Poppo's one, and then just more specifically focused on Fed on the Fed
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Basically.
It's always a challenge with stuff like that, deciding how to do it when it comes to your social media channels, because it is a pain in the ass to post to multiple ones, and it's like, do I just make this easy on myself?
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah,
here?
nor do I feed into the following.
What's the benefits? You got to weigh the cost benefit there of both
Well, I
sides
think that's
of
where
it.
you guys come in and help a lot of businesses.
Yeah, and just trying to help him figure it out. We have one client that just started, and he has like 2 completely different businesses, but he wants to do them all through
The
this
same
one
channel?
page
Oh.
because he already has a following on there,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's not the best way to do it. I understand what you're trying to do. So we're gonna do it on the one page for now and try to kind of build things up, and then probably separate it for him down the road.
It's tricky.
Yeah. So it's I mean, from a marketing standpoint, would you say social media has been shown the best kind of results for you guys?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, you tried
that and word of mouth, but I mean, what
word of mouth
better
for sure.
way to get word of mouth than social media nowadays? 217 Foodies Facebook page has also been another one where, for food businesses specifically, it's a good page to kind of advertise on and get some feedback and promote some things. But yeah, I mean, social media is how we pretty much built
And that's how people get their news.
everything.
Right?
Yeah,
That's how
I
everyone,
mean, that's especially our generation. I don't watch the news.
Yeah.
I watch social media to
social
get my
media.
news.
I watch 2 things: social media and then podcasts. So like that's where I'm getting my information, or books. But
podcasts.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing a podcast?
we played with it a lot, and then
A lot of more things to throw in the works there.
Just so we are like a stay-at-home family, homeschool family. So
Very
there's
family
that.
involved,
So
yes.
kids are with us 24/7, and then we have 3 businesses. So it's like, and then we just started this West Side Market, which I would love to talk about a little bit too. But it's just one of those things where I'm like, it's probably going to happen, just like definitely not now.
There's
Down
a lot
the
of things that could
road,
be
And we
yes,
still want another
but not
baby.
yet. Yeah, I want another
Yeah.
baby, and we just took over as like where I'm the head
he's-
coach. Yeah, I'm going to be the head coach of Arsenal Baseball, the 8 and under
So
team,
add
which is like a
that
travel
to the
baseball team
mix.
through the
Yeah.
hitting center. It's going to be at Shields, so that's a really cool new thing that's going to be in my life. And the whole youth training idea, it's been fascinating to me. It's been a passion project I'm on fire for lately.
Nice.
And I'm bringing her with it. She didn't play sports in high school, so now she's living her childhood almost.
Did you play sports? Did
I
you play
played
baseball?
I played baseball up through college. I got signed to a pro contract with the Laredo Lemurs,
Okay.
and just didn't work out for me. And I kind of put baseball. I forgot about it. I buried it in my head. I don't know why. It just went away. And then my oldest son he started taking to it, and it's like it's got me on fire.
He's
again.
reinvigorated.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like it'd be
This
9 o'clock
time
at night.
for
You
your
want to go
son.
play baseball? I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, our son does. He's in coach pitch right now.
Oh, man.
Yay.
It-
Where's he doing that at?
We do it just through. I don't know what it is, but he's with Williamsville. There's a couple
Okay,
yeah.
Williamsville teams.
Shamrock.
Yeah, it's been fun. I assistant coach, and I don't fucking know anything about baseball.
But you know how to be. You know how to.
Yeah,
teach
so I give a
moral
lot of
Learn.
I give a lot of high fives, and
That's okay, man.
been learning along the way myself. And actually, Jess and I ended up having to coach our soccer team, which we weren't
That's
thrilled
awesome.
about at first, but it was a lot of fun. She kind of handled the sidelines and got who was subbing and keeping track of time and all that stuff. And then I would be out on the field with the kids, and it was a blast.
Yeah, it involves
It's
you.
a
It makes
lot of
you dive
fun.
into it with them, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know anything about soccer either. Those are if we were playing basketball, like that's
good.
what I played.
Yeah.
That was my sport, and I wasn't even like great at that, but I just didn't dedicate myself, But it was I do love basketball, so he did play basketball this year for the first time. I didn't help with coaching or anything on that, but it was fun just watching.
It's just
it.
coming. You're going to probably soon.
But it's interesting, like, so your kid, did he just kind of naturally like get excited about sports and like it?
I will be honest. There was a period in my life where I was worried about it, because I think we started a little earlier because I saw the other parents doing it, and he was like 2.5, was it? And we did
started
soccer
at 2.5, and
like,
he hated it.
He hated it. Picking like kids are picking dandelions, kicking it. I'm like, oh no, is this?
Kid's not
Yeah, my kid's not a sport, and I love sports, so like, I couldn't force it on him, and it just. I think we try to force things that we want into our kids sometimes too early or whatever they are, and they have to shape themselves too. They have to build into who they're going to become, and if you let that happen, they're going to find a passion that you can get behind too.
Yeah.
But I also do think there's something about like them being exposed
yes,
to it.
exposure
Yeah.
is a real
Just
thing.
trying.
Yeah.
Like if we're, it's an evening and we're just like kind of playing catch, rather than being inside playing video games or whatever, like he's going to naturally take 2. So yeah, he's taken 2, and then our 2-year-old
Is
can
going to
hit
be a monster.
golf ball size, a wiffle ball out of the air with Brennan pitching it to him.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay, we got another little athlete
He's a
coming
little
up.
lefty too. I'm excited about that.
That's funny. Yeah, our oldest, he's tried a few different things now. He tried soccer. He didn't like soccer. He was also fairly young when he tried it, but just he seems to like baseball a little bit, and he liked basketball a lot. I can't get a feel like whether he's gonna be sports. So he's really into like. I think he's probably going to be more of a brainiac type kid because he's just really into like he always wants to invent something or build something.
That's
Love
fine
that.
too, man.
So
we need everything.
yeah, and I try not to force anything on him. I
Yeah.
say, if you ever want to practice, I bought a basketball hoop for the house, and same with baseball. I'm like, just let me know when you want to practice, man.
Yeah.
Like we can practice anytime you want if you want to.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. He also like shows up for the games and he plays. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It'll
And
be
how
interesting
old
to see
is
what
he?
happens. He's 6.
Oh,
Okay, 6,
like
yeah.
he's at the stage where he's finding all kinds of passions. Like our 7-year-old loves sports. He also likes rock hunting, rocks,
Yeah.
and
Rock hunting.
he is a geologist. He'll like break apart rocks for days. Like that's his favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so like they all have passions, and you just kind of let them find it.
On the flip side, our youngest, who will be 3 tomorrow,
Happy birthday.
He's crazy. He's a wild animal.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, man, I feel like if anyone's going to play sports, it's going to be. Liv's actually really good at soccer.
Really?
So I don't know if she'll stick with it or not, but she does when she's ready to play. She does really good. But our youngest is a wild animal. I'm like, we got to put him in wrestling or something. He's ready to beat everybody up.
Honestly, jiu-jitsu and wrestling is a really quality thing for these young kids.
And we put bricks in jiu-jitsu. He liked that a lot. We're probably going to put him back in it, but try a different place possibly, just because my nephew's in jiu-jitsu in Vegas, man, and it is serious. Like they take it seriously. He's younger than my oldest, a little bit younger. He's right around my middle child's age, and but they're like sparring and like doing everything,
already.
and I'm like, man, we're not doing any of that shit in our jiu-jitsu
Or
class. I mean, they're having fun, and the coaches are great, and they would talk to them well, and they're teaching them to listen and all that stuff, which is they do a fantastic job of that. But I'm like, I feel like if he's going to do this, we should get him into doing it.
Let's do some of the moves now. Let's see what they can do.
So we might try another place, but that's pretty cool too. I mean, it just teaches a lot of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if he I don't know, just what they do. It's always interesting to see what they get into and what they like.
Oh, absolutely.
So, but yeah, no, the coaching thing though was super fun, and it was, and the parents, I didn't think much of it because originally, so we signed up, and Jessica helped coach last year, but they called me and they're like, hey, you guys helped coach last year. Do you think you could help again this year? And we weren't going to, and I hadn't talked to Jessica about it. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. You got to talk to her. Like she's kind of, that's kind of her thing. And they're like, well, we have a couple parents that are willing to help out, but with 12 kids, we were wondering if you guys might. And I was like, I don't know. We probably can between the two of us. And then all of a sudden we're the only coaches. It's just the two of us. It's like, all right, I guess we have to be at every single game no matter what we're coaching. But yeah, it ended up being a lot of fun, and the parents are all like really enjoyed us coaching. They thought we did a great job, but I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about soccer, so I'm like on watching videos, like, all right, what drills are we doing? What are we gonna do?
That's
here?
how it starts, man. Sometimes. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and seeing the kids improve over the year was really cool.
I think that's my favorite part is like watching them get better and better every season. It's just like, wow,
It's quick
things
too.
are clicking, and
When they're this young, it's so fast.
Yeah. And last night they had a game, and we ended up being really short players. And they're in 8U right now, so technically you can be up to 8 years old. But we were short, like quite a few players. Like we only had like 5 of our players, I think.
no.
So one of the kids' brothers came with a couple of his buddies, but they played traveling. They're all 8,
Yeah.
but they came to just help out and play traveling. And watching them play, I was like, holy shit!
I think it's just a couple
They're like
more years.
fucking whacking it all the way out in the outfield,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Jesus! I was like, I actually was happy about it because like the other kids saw it, you know what I mean? And I was out in the outfield with my oldest, and he's like, Daddy, can we practice tomorrow? And I was like, so I'm like, I wonder if he's asking because he sees these other kids
What
just
they're
crushing.
Think about how motivating that is, though. Like they're
Yeah.
just a little bit older than him, and he thinks, "Wow, that could be me."
Yeah.
You know.
So that was pretty cool, and then just seeing there. Then I was kind of talking to the older kids in the outfield, just asking them what they were doing and stuff. But I don't think the other team was super happy about it. But I was like, we don't even keep score. Like we just had them come so we had enough people to play.
I think some people take it too seriously for what it should be, right?
Yeah.
It's made to develop athletes, and it's made to develop a love of movement more than anything, right? The sports is a useful character because most of them are never going to be professionals or get paid for anything, but they'll take the lessons they learn from it into who they become as an adult. Basketball for you, I'm sure, even though you didn't take it that seriously, you didn't apply yourself as much as possible, there's lessons you use day to day that you learn from the court.
Yeah, just getting out there, doing hard work, and trying to do your best, And it's funny because after, when was that? It would have been when I came back from college. We were playing like park rec leagues, and that now I'm older and more serious about it, and I'm like in there like busting my ass and pushing people around. I'm like, fuck, I should have played like this when I was a kid. Like I
took it seriously.
I was a pansy. But it's interesting to see how things change, and it'll be cool to see what they want to do.
I know. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
So you guys are thinking of having another one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're at 2, and 2 doesn't feel like enough. 3 or 4.
I feel like if I have a daughter, I'll call it.
Yeah.
Up to you.
2
obviously.
boys.
Yeah.
If we have another boy, it'd be fine. We're already in the like we have a lot of chaos. 2 boys are wild, but a little girl would also be so sweet.
Yeah. I get if I always say if I would have started a little younger, I probably would have at least had another 1 or 2. Because at first I was even unsure about kids. I was like, I don't know. If I
Same.
have kids
We
or
didn't
not.
even want kids. Yeah, and I look back and like, who were you? Like, what were you thinking? That's
But
the best thing
kids,
ever.
Give you a whole new meaning and purpose.
Yeah.
Reinvent
So
you. Or
I mean,
should.
it's not too late.
Yeah. Well, it is for me. I put the cancel on that. No, we decided we were good. I mean, we got 2 boys and a girl, and I do feel a little bit bad because sometimes our girl, like the boys are playing and they want to, wrestle or do something. She doesn't want to do that. She's like, I don't have anybody to play with. So sometimes I feel a little bit bad. She's like, can we have another girl, Mommy?
Yeah, but she's gonna learn the ways of the man life, of manhood. So she'll probably be a little powerhouse when she gets older.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. Yeah, our youngest, we always call him the enforcer because like the other day they were somewhere and some kid like tripped bricks, like not on purpose. Or my oldest, they tripped him, not on purpose, and then my youngest ran up to him and punched him. He's like, you hurt my brother.
I like it.
Wow.
So
yeah,
that's awesome,
Jess
man.
told me that, and I was like, that's what I'm talking
But
about.
isn't that cool to see like how the 3 kids that you made are like
a unit
forming this little unit. Like that is so cool.
Yeah, and I love that there's a boy on both sides of the girl.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
she's gonna be defended.
We got protection here on both sides.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Well,
good.
2 brothers. I mean, it's gonna be.
And
good
there'll be I think 1 year when they're all in high school together.
Oh, that's gonna
when
be
I
fun.
figured it out. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome, man. It's really cool. And thank you, like Jess. She stopped working and is stay at home now. And I mean, she has a tougher job than me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
On the days when it's just me with the boys, I'm like for 5 hours. I'm like, how can you stand this? Like, there's so many messes I got to pick up. When am I going to pick them up? I
But
don't
it's so good. I mean, I already look back and I just like, I'm a stay-at-home mom I mean, yes, I work, but like I'm literally a stay-at-home mom and I've been doing it for 7 years. And it's something that you're like, while it's hard, like, what do they say? The days are long, but the years are short. Like, it's so true. Like your days are hard, but man, spending all that time with your kids, you're just never gonna, like, she's never gonna regret spending all this time with them,
Yeah, it's kind of tough sometimes because I get a little bit jealous of it though.
Same. I get a little dad guilt.
Like I can wake up and
you get
I
to
can
the
take a
kids all
nap.
day.
I go to work. I'm like, and I go home.
She's like, you would lose your mind if you were home with the kids all day. I was like, yeah,
you're right.
I probably would.
Yeah.
Same.
She says
same
the same
conversation.
exact words. But I love it when I'm there. Like those little short spells I get, I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
till
it's
it's
satisfying.
10 hours.
Yeah, and there's like a poop mess because we're teaching a 2-year-old how to be potty trained.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough process.
It is.
It's kind of interesting though, because they kind of, I don't know, they just kind of, you know when they're ready, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the two older ones basically got potty trained at the same time.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they both, like, one day they went to our who we used to use for daycare that's right across the street from us, and she like worked with them that day, and they both basically were potty trained after that.
Yeah.
But the older one, he was trying to hold off, but
Yeah.
then when they were both doing it together, they both did it, and it was like, so that was nice. But yeah, the youngest one's going to be 3, and we've been kind of trying to get him to do it, and he's not. And it's just like, well, it'll happen. So we don't force it too much.
It will. Well, he's 2.5, and he's ready. It's just like it's a process reminding them, like, hey, do you have to go potty? Like.
And summer's fun, like distractions. Like they don't think about it because they used to be able to.
Like if they're having fun, they kind of forget. Oh,
And we have a road trip coming up, and I'm like, I kind of don't want to try to potty train him until this road trip's over with, because it's so much. 30
so
much
minutes
easier.
Extra work for sure.
To just let him use the bathroom, change a diaper real quick at the gas
Lot
station
easier.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think after that we'll probably start pushing it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But how do you guys balance that? I mean, I assume you try to take vacations and stuff like that. It's a lot to balance.
You want to talk about your opinion?
I mean,
we have a very similar opinion.
Okay, and this is probably not no, I don't know if a lot of people would agree with us, but we have a life that we don't really feel like we need a vacation from. Like we come home, it's a peaceful home. We go to the pool, we go to the lake, we do these, like, I don't know, like we just love the life that we've built. So honestly, to me personally, vacations are just more stressful to me, because then I'm out of my routine. I'm eating food. Like
there's definitely something said.
I don't want to need a vacation from my vacation.
You don't have all your stuff.
Then I'm like, eating.
That's why we
like,
drive, honestly, on most of our vacations.
Well, and then you're just parenting somewhere else with the kids, which is fine. I love the experience. So we do once a year. We do like a quick little 4-day trip somewhere that we can drive. But it's like, you're not eating your normal foods. You're not getting your normal workouts in. You're not sleeping in your bed. So your sleep is not as good. We're big on sleep. You're just like, there's just so many things, and you come back and you're like, okay, now I got to catch up on everything. So to me, it's almost like a
But we do
hassle.
try to mix up like the experiences for the kids. Like we will bake into each season like something fun that's outside of it. Like recently with the wintertime, we did this big elaborate scavenger hunt for Kai that we like for my oldest. Where
or we'll do like day trips.
Or day trips. I'm a big day trip person. Like,
Have you guys been to Slick City near St. Louis?
No,
it's like a slide
It
park.
is this huge slide park.
Is that one of those new parks that they did down there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like, what is it, St. Charles area, maybe something like that. I get all those confused, but I think it's St. Charles. It's probably, I love these kind of places. It's my favorite one, hands down.
Nice.
I mean, it is like, I'm like out there sliding down all these slides. It's so fun.
Or Iron Coyote in Bloomington is super fun.
Yeah, Iron Coyote. We have you guys been there?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so like we love these quick little day trips, and then
Yeah.
usually we'll just like stay in a hotel overnight. So we're still getting the hotel experience, but it's not as stressful to come back because you don't have to like do like a week's worth of laundry and
for sure. No, it's completely
What about you
understandable.
guys? You guys definitely big
How'd you
fan
guys
of the
take it?
vacations.
Well, I find them like I'm on the same page. Like I love our life. I think we have a great balance of everything that we do. We do a lot of day trips and stuff like that. But man, from a creative standpoint, for me, like if I can get somewhere else, like a different environment, it's so good for me. Okay. It's just really weird how it like resets you, and when I was younger, a lot of times that was like going to festivals and what I mean? There's so much creativity at these music festivals that were always awesome. But even just being like, one of our big vacations that we do a lot is go up to Maine because we have a lot of family history up there. We own a cabin up there. So we usually every other summer try to go up there and spend a couple weeks. But yeah, it's just like getting out of my environment and seeing other things, seeing other, whatever. I mean, I guess you could say like cultural experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if cultural is the right word, but like just different experiences, from a creative standpoint. It really helps me kind of reset things. And
Stephen Pressfield, ever heard of him? He talks about resetting the muse. By changing your environment, you reset the muse, the creativity of it. I could definitely see what you're talking about there.
Yeah, and it just that tends to help a lot. One thing I've been thinking about is it would be really cool to do like a week working at somebody else's agency.
Ooh.
just to see what it's like what another agency's like at a big one or something. You know what I mean?
How do
just
they handle
going
it?
there and so I just joined this like business group that's helping us reorganize Upox because we're at a point where to get to the next level, like we really need a lot of organization in place as far as processes, standard operating procedures, like responsibilities, like all of this stuff. Like we know it and we do it, but it's not written down.
Yeah.
So we don't have it. And this group I'm part of now, their whole thing is the more valuable you are to your business, the less valuable your business is.
Yes.
So they encourage you to get everything documented, get everything out of your head, so your team never has to come to you with a question.
Love it. I
This is
thoroughly
what she
believe in
believes.
that.
Yeah.
So like I learned that lesson early on, and I'm no expert by any means, but in our early years, kitchen number 2, because we've moved this is 4 times now, we kitchen shared with another catering company in town. And I remember one weekend I was like prepping the staff about, I was going out of town or whatever, and he was like, how do you do that? And I was like, what do you mean how I do that? Like they know what to do. And he's like, well, what about the recipes? And I like pulled out this manual of like exactly step by step and like even like how it's plated and weighed out, everything. And he's like, my business cannot operate if I'm not here. And that was a big thing for me, was remembering like how important it is. I don't want my business to like operate only because of me. Mm-hmm. And as a stay-at-home mom, I can't be there all the time. You know?
Yeah, you create your own bottleneck by it being you. Like
Have you ever read the book E-Myth?
Oh man, totally.
So that's where I got that. It's a really, I don't know if you're a reader or not, but that one was so I have a master's in business, and it was like all that 6 years of education, I feel like was nothing compared to reading this one book.
And that book came at the right time. I honestly think like people think you're crazy busy. Like you are a stay-home mom and you run.
I mean, there's a lot of things.
But the way you do it is by everything that's in her head is on a spreadsheet or a document, and it's written out. You are very organized about that. And here's how this procedure works. Implement.
Yeah. So we've been going through that right now. It's been pretty awesome because they have these what they call them value engines, but it's basically like every step of a process and what has to happen before the next step happens.
Yeah.
So the other day we took a half day and I got lunch for the team. We just sat down, all ate lunch. Shout out to Brewskis. They one of our clients, and they got us lunch, and we all sat down and talked about just what we were doing, how this was going to work, and then there were some videos that we watched, and then we sat down and started working on it all together. And it really got everybody excited about it. Like we all worked on it and everyone's giving ideas and, what about this? And then, no, this happens first. And you know what I mean? So it was really going through that documenting process with everybody involved. I think it really got everybody on the same page and everybody's super excited about it. So yeah, and then we use this software called ClickUp, which if you're like about like all that task management, all that stuff, it's an awesome software. You can customize it to work for your business or businesses. Like we use it very well right now, but I know it could be better. So we're also simultaneously working with another company that's building out a custom ClickUp for us. And they've done it with like 3,000 agencies across, I think, the world, honestly. So they're customizing that. So what I'm doing over here is I'm providing like our value engines, our processes, our, standard operating procedures. I'm providing them all to this company, and they're rebuilding out basically our task management. We basically run our business through this ClickUp program.
That's awesome, man. To organize
and really all that is just going to set us up to be able to scale really fast. Because
I love that for you guys.
Well, right now, clients, like getting clients isn't so much of a problem. But it's like we don't do 100% like what we do for our clients because it's a little bit like, I know we're at a point where it's like a little bit scary to grow and grow too fast. So because I know it's like hiring, then you got to train and still people, it takes forever. And it's like, once we have this, we could bring somebody on and they have something to reference every step of the way. And there's essentially like, you still got to train a little bit, but can train themselves through the documented processes.
I was going to say, once you bring a new person on, it's going to make it a lot more simple.
Yeah. So at that point, then we'll be able to really dive in and do what we do for our clients and advertise and all that stuff, and start bringing on clients, much quicker. And I foresee the bottleneck probably being at a point, talent, like hiring. You know what I mean? That'll probably be our next bottleneck that we'll have to figure out. But yeah, it's exciting. Spending a lot of friggin' money to get all this done, but I think it's going to be totally worth it.
Well, the whole idea is that you're going to spend that money so that way the system's in place so that way you can make a lot more money.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys had your first West Side Market.
Yeah. It was awesome. Did you guys get a chance to stop by?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't realize it was that day. We probably would have tried to stop by, because I even think that day, I think we were out running around. I was like, shit, we should have stopped by.
Yeah, well, it ended up raining. But it was, so it was, again, I mean, I reference God every now and then. I know not everyone's where I'm at with that, but I was at church one day and I just had this vision of this West Side Market, like in our parking lot. And I came home and I was like, I think I want to start a farmer's market on the West Side. And Brendan was just like, I mean, that'd be cool. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to do it. Yeah. And so it was pretty late to the game because summer is right around the corner. But then I got one of my friends on board. I was like, hey, I have this project. It's going to be big, so I'm going to need some help. Do you want to be on board? Yes. And then I put a little, some feelers out on Facebook, and there was so much interest. And I ended up having 3 other women that were like, hey, I want to help you with this. I'm like, okay, awesome. So even though we were late to the game, we managed to get, well, all in all, we'll have 50 vendors, but each market's going to have around 35, 40. But yeah, our first one was this past weekend. We officially, it's the first Sunday of the month, minus this last one. It was the second Sunday, but moving forward, it's the first Sunday of the month, from 2 to 5 p.m. in the Poppo's Café Strip Mall. And before, it was 1:45. I mean, it was already packed. And the vendors, they all were massively successful. A lot of them sold out.
Nice.
So other markets are typically 4 hours, and they were selling out in 2 hours because of the rain. Yeah. The last hour kind of got rained out, it was okay. They say that's like when you get married and it rains, it's good luck. So I was like, okay, I'll take that, because we had 2 hours that were very successful. So yeah, it's been fun as a small business owner of the community. I love and I'm passionate about local, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to get behind, Poppo's fed, Brett and I, get behind the scenes and create an opportunity for small business vendors to come and be at a location where customers will come to them while creating a community aspect to the whole event.
Yeah.
And
that community aspect cannot be overstated. After COVID, people are still finding community. People are still finding who they are and how they like to hang out and what that looks like. And honestly, it was beautiful to have that many people out there on just a first time, random pop up.
We also are trying to do a little bit different than most markets. We are doing live music, and we had a kids corner. We had someone face painting. We had this bubble thing. We had a vendor that was selling fresh cotton candy that was spun right there. So it was just kind of a different vibe. It was more than just, I'm going to go spend money and look at vendors. It was there's music. We extended our patio at Poppo's and sold some brunch cocktails. So there was a beer garden.
Nice.
It was just a cool thing to go to. Even again, if you were just a shopper or you were just hanging out casually in the beer garden, listen to music, bring your kids to the kids corner. It was just awesome. And I'm excited for the next events coming. It's just, I'm kind of like you. I'm a creator. I love creating things. And I feel like the west side of Springfield could use something like this. Yeah. And the amount of people that showed up was proof that
it's not always convenient to go downtown for the farmer's market.
And it's on Saturday. A lot of people still work, or kids sports. Everything's on Saturdays, I feel like.
Yeah. And so Sunday afternoons are usually kind of pretty chill for people. And that's kind of why we picked that date.
Go to church, get some brunch, go to the market.
The west side of Springfield it's 20, 25 minutes from downtown. So it's not always, going back to convenience we were talking about earlier, sometimes it's way more convenient to have one on this side of town if you live on this side of town than trying to, drive across town, park, walk,
and you got options. I mean, there's probably different stuff down at the farmer's market than
I haven't been to the downtown market in a very, very long time. We're talking 5-6 years. But I know that we have a lot of vendors that we're not vendors downtown. So something different.
Yeah, I think they have some weird restrictions too, your stuff has to be made or grown, I think, in the area or something like that. Because I know with one of my businesses, they tried to, my partner that runs it, she tried to get a place at the farmer's market, and she couldn't do it because the product's aren't made locally or something
Oh, really?
like that. Yeah, I think there's some weird restriction around that, which I understand. You know what I mean? I get it. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything like that with.
No, I mean, the only, like, I don't want to call it a restriction, but the one thing that we are asking before you apply as a vendor is that you make your own product.
Right.
So there were some people that wanted to like buy products, say from Amazon or I don't know, wholesale and resale.
That might have been what it was. I don't know if it was a grown local. Yeah, that might have been what it was. Because we don't make.
You don't make
what
it.
We sell there, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like nothing against, like, and it feels bad having these things, but we were kind of really wanting to.
Yeah, otherwise it could get out of hand. Again, I understand
these
having to have these things
handcrafted-
in place. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you guys selling?
It was through Simply CBD wellness. Yeah.
Oh, I feel
So
like
just like our wellness stuff or whatever. There's a couple things that are made locally. We don't make it that we carry, but a lot of that, all of it is heavily vetted. You know what I mean? Because there's so much CBD that's just junk. So that was one thing I liked a lot when I got involved with them. And my dad, when he and really the reason I got involved, so it was my friend's mom and a couple of her friends that were going to start it, and they came to us about just branding, website, marketing, all that stuff. But I ended up working out, just partnering with them. And the reason I did that is when my dad was battling cancer, we were getting, like, I would have friends send CBD from Colorado, and it helped him a lot through that process. You know what I mean? So I kind of had a reason, you know what I mean, for me, and the stories we hear of our clients that come in there is just crazy. How like, you know, I couldn't walk, and you know, all this stuff, and they're like, my knees feel so much better, or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? And obviously, there's a lot of things that go into, you know, fixing that stuff, but still providing something that at least gives them some relief. Hopefully, they don't rely on just that, and they try to just be healthier, move more.
Well, I think there's a lot to be said about the cannabidiol receptors all throughout the body. They're literally in almost every tissue. So you have to think they're going to have some influence to play, some benefit in a lot of people. I see it all the time too, actually.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we kind of got screwed with COVID with that business because we opened a second location out on the north end, and COVID happened like right after we opened it. Like, it was rocking and rolling. It was doing really good. Then COVID happened, and we couldn't get like the PPP or whatever. We couldn't get any for like that location because it was new, and you had to show like 12 months or 24 months or whatever the restriction was. And so we couldn't get any help with that. Well, in the meantime, we're paying our bills.
Yeah.
And just from being good tenants, we screwed ourselves. If we would have just said fuck you and not paid our bills, we would have been fine too. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I think the ethical decision was, I mean,
we did the same thing. So it's like, and then, so we basically blew through a bunch of money keeping that place open, trying to get through COVID. And then eventually we were like, we're just going to shut this down. This is crazy.
So do you still have the other one?
Yeah.
Okay. It was just the second location that.
Yeah. And again, you know, we were hoping with, you know, the CBD becoming legal, that things would lighten up from a advertising perspective, a selling perspective, but they just really haven't lightened up. It's really hard to advertise that business.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's frustrating. You know, even Facebook, like you see ads for CBD, and I would like we have a direct line with Facebook because we do spend so much money on there. We do have so many client accounts.
Yeah.
And I would talk to them. I'm like, why do I see all these CBD advertisements, but we're not allowed to advertise?
Yeah.
And they basically told me like that we're just not a big enough company. They're like, there's a list.
No.
There's a list you have to be on. I'm like, all right, how do I get on the fucking list?
Yeah.
And it was basically like no. This is how you do it. It was just they basically were like, "Hey, you're not big enough."
Yeah, you got to grow.
God damn it,
dude! I feel like honestly, there's going to be courses taught on how to pivot and how businesses change and adapted through COVID. There's going to be so much knowledge that can glean from just that small period.
Such a weird period.
Well, that was where I was really excited because if we had just launched Fed previous, like, you know, we hadn't been operating a whole year yet, and because it was like mid 2019, so we were like 6 months in operation, well, maybe 9 months whenever COVID happened. But I was really grateful for our model. It's kind of like a ghost kitchen, cloud kitchen model. Like we didn't really have interaction with the customer, so we were able to stay open. And like one of our main pickup location at that time was Supplement Superstore, and they were considered essential. So like we were allowed to operate through a cloud kitchen concept because of that. So
That's
I was
nice.
like onto something then.
Yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah, the cloud kitchen.
Yeah, because
model.
that could have freaking killed you right there.
Absolutely.
Being a brand new business. Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't even sure. I remember getting a call from, I just had 2 team members, Ryan over here and Holly at the time, and I remember being on a phone call with them. I was at my dad's house, and I was just like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know what's happening. You know what I mean? Because it seemed so scary at first, and I'm like, I guess, like, just stay home for now. Like, try to get work done at home. I'll give you access to the server. And it was just weird. And then eventually, like, I was still coming into the studio doing stuff. Thankfully, like, a lot of our clients, we just pivoted their advertising to selling online or drive-through or whatever it was. And some of them had record sales. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't own Small Cakes at the time, but we were doing advertising for them, and their sales like tripled just by promoting their drive-through, like drive-through and get it.
How's that going, by the way?
It's good. I can't complain at all. It's just I probably just took on a little bit more than I should have. So, you know, I committed to it though, so I'm sticking with it until I find somebody that's interested in taking it over, or partnering and kind of running it. It's just hard to not be in there more as the owner, you know what I mean? Because you just have a different perspective on things and how you want things to be, and you can try to beat that into people as much as possible, but it's just not quite the same. So I think it would be a very good owner-operated business, or somebody that just has more time to at least go there regularly, you know, more, something like that. It'd be very great for somebody like that, because we do a lot of business. It's just, again, it's just tough. And my main thing was when I did it, so corporate contacted me because we did so well marketing for them. So I kind of had a relationship with corporate, and I was involved in another Small Cakes location down in Florida. And that's a long story. Basically, one of my partners was just a POS and kind of sank the whole thing down there. So they kind of knew me, so they reached out to me like, hey, they're about to get foreclosed on, like kicked out, like we're taking their license away. They're not paying their licensing fees. Again, the same guy was involved in this one, and was basically just like, I don't know, stealing. I think he was stealing money and just putting it all up his nose. But it was a shitty situation. So I was like,
so that's how you got involved.
Well, they reached out, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, let me think about it. And then, you know, I talked to corporate before about doing marketing for all the Small Cakes across the country. I'm like, well, shit, if I get this one and get it going, and we can use it as a hub to do marketing for these other locations. Like, I mean, they have, you know, 300 locations across the country. So trying to work that out, and then that's not really coming to fruition for various reasons. So it's kind of like, well, shit, I don't know if that opportunity is ever going to actually be there, because the way they operate, it's not a franchise. You're licensing it, so everyone operates a little different. There's no exact standard. So that's why we're allowed to sell whatever. Like right now, we got chocolate covered bacon. It's been doing great. You know what I mean?
Interesting. I thought it was a franchise.
No, it's a licensing thing. So I mean, you know, it's,
so you basically are licensed to sell their stuff and use
it's changed. It changed owners. The Small Cakes corporate, it changed owners, so it's changed a little bit, but it you basically get access to, they have training available to get trained, and they give you like, here's all the stuff you need. They'll help you like get started. But then they just kind of let you do your thing. The part of the challenge is everybody does their cupcakes a little different. Everybody carries different things. Everybody, so it's like, well, how the hell do we create an affordable, an affordable standard marketing package for all of them when everybody's doing things a little bit different? So it just kind of became a challenge, and I kind of realized like this probably isn't going to work out. But it is fun. It's amazing how happy the people are coming in there. Like,
it's easy to sell sugar.
Oh my God. So the first week I was in there, like all week, and and there was old employees that hadn't been paid from the previous owners and all this stuff. And I reached out to them, or they reached out to me, and was like, hey, I heard you're, taking this over. We'd love to come back. And I'm like, why do these people want to work here so much? You know what I mean? It was just weird. Like, But then I'm in there for that first week, and everybody coming in there is like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're back open. Like,
Yeah.
I miss this place,
Yeah.
like all this stuff." And it was just like, I was like, "Oh, that's why everyone likes working here, because everyone's so happy coming in here. I'm talking to everybody, you know what I mean?" And so yeah, I mean, it's cool, and it'd be a lot of fun if that was like your only spot to deal with and run. But yeah, it's probably just I need to really just focus on this business more. So I've put some things in place to still do that. But it's still, I know Small Cakes could be doing even better if it had more of my focus.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's the balance of owning multiple businesses. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Is trying to
That's
figure
where we're
out
at.
how to divvy up the time. And
Yeah.
it's easy to like want to put more effort into the ones that are making you more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well, and we have kind of a unique situation because really we could partner with anybody.
yeah.
And I'm still opening to owning more businesses, but I just have to have my part that I'm adding to the business be what we do here at Box.
Like you're saying, if you partnered with a business, you would be like, okay, like my buy-in and my role would be like this, what I already do. I'm not doing anything else.
And I just work it into our system here.
Right.
And essentially they're a customer of Box, but they get proper marketing, proper social media, because I mean, any good business, I mean, there's a basic equation for a successful business. Obviously, you have to have a good product or service that has a demand, but past that, be able to sell it and have good marketing and good branding. You know what I mean? And we just kind of fill one of those equation spots. So, I tell my team sometimes, I mean, I don't think this will actually ever happen. I was like, there's potential at some point. This whole business could be literally just the marketing department of multiple businesses that we own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's people that approach me sometimes and ask me about it, and I pick it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that business is for me. Like there has to be something like simply kind of correlated back to my dad. You know what I mean? There has to be something there that I'm excited about to be involved in it. But it. Yeah, so I don't know. See where that goes.
No, I get it. I like that. You're pivoting. You're making it easier for you to own another business too. Rather than a whole nother headache or a whole.
Well, you're like,
fire.
I can bring this area of expertise. Like that's what, like with what I do, like at Poppo's, I'm like, I'm not, because people will ask me like, oh, you there tomorrow? And I'm like, no. I like, my role is, X, Y, and Z, and it's not day to day.
Yeah.
That's what I bring to the business, but I can't.
So are you essentially running it over there for the most part?
I mean, we all have a meeting every week. Like basically Will and I are the main people, but we have a meeting and we
I just know Will has a lot going on, so I didn't know if part of this was like, all right, I'm going to let you run this.
That's pretty much what it was. Whenever he first came to me about it, I was like, dude, no offense, but I don't want a cafe. Like the only way I see this working is we're running two businesses out of one spot and we're splitting rent type of situation. Then we met again and he really kind of pitched the idea of like merging. And then finally I came back and I was like, well, I'm only doing this if I'm like half on the deal, and I'm only doing this if you let me direct the ship. And he was like, deal. Yeah. Which honestly, he has a lot on his plate. So that actually I think worked out for him because he can focus his energy on, Brick House is a big one of his, and then he's kind of doing some stuff with his Legacy Sports deal going on by Shields. And so that's kind of how it works.
Man, you got a lot going on. No, we had a couple meetings and had a couple drinks together and just talked about some different opportunities. So
well, that's what I heard. He was telling me about like potentially try to sell Small Cakes through our spot, and I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, we haven't got back together.
I just said, hey, keep me posted.
Yeah. He's like, I mentioned it to Celeste. She said she likes you a lot. I was like, I've known Celeste for a while.
Yeah. Well, I was open to the idea. I'm like, well, just keep me posted, but then I didn't really know what came of that.
We haven't got back together on it. But I think the potential's still there. Or whatever,
I agree. Maybe you and I should meet.
So,
and I'll just bring it back to Will.
Yeah, but his what he's got going on out there at the sports park, that's pretty exciting. That should be interesting.
As someone who's putting together an 8U, so we'll be able to train our boys out there with the team that we're at. So like we're very excited.
Crazy.
It's gonna be awesome. It's
gonna
be a renaissance of baseball.
Well, just seeing what's gonna happen over there, like I can already picture it. They're gonna take that road all the way through to Woodside. And I bet there's just going to be strip malls like the West Side, like down that whole road, neighborhoods and strip malls. And you know what I mean? It's just
going to blow up.
That would be kind of cool.
And honestly, if you have to think about that cornfield by nights, like that's going to be a whole block of neighborhoods.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, neighborhoods and probably strip malls all the way to Woodside with businesses. And there's just going to be so much opportunity. It's going to be interesting to see the economic impact it has.
I think it's going to be good.
We had what was his name again? Do you remember offhand? Yeah, the guy that's head of Sangamon Growth Alliance.
I don't think I've met him.
He's the one that kind of helped put that deal together.
What's his name?
Ryan McGrady.
Huh, okay.
It was a great podcast. It was really interesting talking to him just about how it all worked out and the tax stuff and just kind of.
There's so much that goes into
because you
that.
just hear so much stuff and it's like, oh, I feel like we're getting fucked on tax. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting getting it all straightened out with them and talking to him about it. Yeah, good guy. It was cool having him on. I'm glad he came on.
Dude, that's such a big undertaking to make that happen. It's crazy. I need to
well,
organize all
I
that.
think that's why, like, going back to, I love what you said earlier about partnering with people, because I'm at the point now, like the whole West Side market, and it's technically, I mean, who knows if we can make it into something bigger down the road, probably. But I'm at the point in my life where I love owning businesses, but I know that it's going to get done better and more effectively if I have a team of doers, not just me. I love doing it all by myself, but like when you do it all by yourself, it's all you.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of on the same page with you. Like, I'm open because at the end of the day, Brennan and I want to own multiple businesses, like even more. And the only way that I want to do it going forward is to have partners that all bring value to the team, and we just divide and conquer and make it happen. And, you know, people love to hate on Springfield, but if we're here, we might as well make it what we can. And so people like you and I just need to create and bring, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of on that same page as you, is like the sports legacy deal. The only reason why that's working is because there's a group of people that are like, let's all collectively put our, you know, assets and value to this team and make it happen. And now it's happening. Yeah. If it was one person, I don't think it would happen like that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, that'll be cool. It'll be interesting to see it, because I mean, if it brings the kind of numbers to town that they're talking about, it'll be crazy.
Youth sports are ridiculous already in terms of the people that you bring. It's going to be absolutely insane. I don't think people understand
How far do you travel with the traveling team?
With 8U right now, so we have our own opinions. I think every coach is going to form their own opinion. I think we're coach pitch right now, so I think the whole idea of travel is just to build I want to build our team into just a community. So we'll travel once or twice, 60 to 90 minutes, and I'll probably stay at a hotel just so we can, like, at the end of the tournament or whatever, we'll have a pool day, and then we'll all hang out and have like a late night movie. But I don't think you need to travel. Baseball in like Central Illinois is popping. Like, we have players, and we have players going pro now. Like, you don't have to travel.
Multiple people from Chatham, right?
Yeah, man.
Recently,
and we got Rochester kids coming. We got kids in the outskirts still, New Berlin, Auburn's. Like, it's more of a hub than people realize, and you don't have to travel that far. Now, Edwardsville, St. Louis, Chicago, they got talent too, but I don't think you have to leave by any means, and I don't think you should when they're this young anyway.
I don't think you need to. It's going to put us on the map.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge deal.
Yeah, that's one thing I like. I know I would enjoy it, but I also fear it a little bit if any of the kids ever do get involved enough that they want to do traveling and shit. Like my sister, my nephew is big into hockey. Mm-hmm. He goes to St. Louis twice a week to practice.
Oh man, you're
like, that's a lot
of
dedication.
You're scratching at a new business idea we've been throwing around, or not even a business, a change in the way things are done here. You want to?
Yeah. Well, you know, we're passionate parents and we're very intentional, and we think, especially with Shields coming, we think it'd be awesome if there was like a sports school.
Yeah, something
a movement-based school.
Yeah, something, and I think that gives the opportunity for more serious stuff here.
Well,
that you
not necessarily. Don't even think about it in terms
much.
of seriousness, in terms of being good at a sport. Using movement as a tool to help kids learn better. We keep removing movement from school in hopes that we get a grade point average up.
There are studies that show that, you know, so like, okay, every year testing is going down. It's been going down for decades.
Yeah.
And what our schools have been doing.
You ever seen the chart of when they started the Department of Education and those things?
Yeah. It's weird how that lines up, right?
I think dismantling it is not a bad idea because of that. But, so every year our scores are going down, and like the solution has been, well, we're just going to remove the extra filler, you know, like PE, and replace with more academics. Well, the more we've done that, the worse it's been. Yeah. And really the resolution to fixing all this is adding more movement in. So we think a movement-based school would not only help academic scores, but would also get these kids to be I mean, we know that sitting all day long is, like they say, it's going to be
like, oh, your kid's got ADD.
No, he likes to move. Yeah.
He likes to move. And so our idea that we're like kind of playing around with is going to be like a movement-based school.
You start the day with movement instead of like, oh, PE's later in the day. And honestly, this is not some like a random fly on the wall idea. Like, this has backing behind it too. They did it in Naperville. They took kids that were doing poorly, failing their English, their math, and what was it like
core subjects.
Subjects. And what they did was the next year they didn't teach these kids anything more. They gave them hour 0 PE. They had PE which was a movement-based PE,
So
like
it was
no
like
structure.
Group A, Group B.
Yeah.
Group A got 0 hour
Yeah,
PE.
they got 0 hour before these,
The
and then
end
they put
result-
the 3 major subjects. Those 3 subjects after that 0 hour PE, they all increased the letter grade by at least 1 grade. Most of them average 2.
The ones that moved.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So and also, like, as a parent who, say your kid wants to develop a little bit more athleticism, like, how awesome would it be to get it done during the day so that in the evening you can do what you want?
You could even merge them. Like, imagine like hopping through rings that are the ABCs or something. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Or
you can
something.
easily do
yeah.
that. And honestly, for youth development, up to like the age of 12, crawling, jumping, bounding, throwing
getting
random
these kids
things, they
moving.
need to move their bodies in different fundamental patterns.
It's like, all right, 2 + 2, throw it through
Yeah.
the hole. That's what that equals.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And you could
Yeah.
make it with like picking up rocks, or it doesn't, like, it could be, I'm going to move this amount of water to this side, and we're going to understand how that leverage works and how you balance things. There can be
Another
so many
thing that
aspects.
has led us to that is, we're a homeschool family.
Yeah.
We're seeing how effective, like, our son is technically going into 2nd grade. I'm not joking, 3 to 4 days a week doing 45 minutes of work, and we do it year round to avoid summer regression. But basically, it feels like we're barely doing any academics at all. He's testing well into 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you can do like this. What I'm saying is, in the school day, there's so much time for other things.
Well, and in a class, you got how many
There's-
people?
yeah.
15, 20 kids.
Like
and
25.
And you have the kids
you're
the ones
kind
that-
of, you're
first
kind
behind.
of going as moving as fast as the slowest kid. And yeah, no, I wish, I don't know how, with the 3 kids and just everything that Jessica holds down, I don't see how she would be able to manage that. But
if we had a play school,
yeah.
Move-based school,
I wish, like, I could homeschool my kids. I feel like I would be good at, and I think also, like, it's not right for, like, I don't think like anybody can homeschool. Like, I think, you got to have the
A community.
personality
Yeah.
or a community, or something to do it. And, there's those people that are like, oh, well, they don't get the interaction with kids. And yeah, I understand that too. There is an argument there, but like, where else could they get that? Could you could structure that if you really
We
think
build
about
that
build
into
it
the-
in.
Yeah, you can
and
easily
also,
build it
like,
in.
people will say that to us too. And a lot of times, I think, like, the things that you're saying, we may have been programmed to think.
Yeah, you have this.
Because I thought those things too. And it's like, so my 7-year-old and my 2-year-old literally can go talk. Like, my 2-year-old will go up to people and be like, "What's your name?" You know what I mean? So it's like, my kids are highly socialized.
Yeah.
So I think that that's kind of a myth. And I also, and interaction, like, we do the sports, we do all kinds of things. Like, I've seen Jess at West Side during the day, like, with the little play area. And I also think, like, going back to, like, it takes a special personality. Homeschooling your kid is way easier than people think it is. Like, I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm not cut out to do that, or I can't do that. I thought the same thing. And so I took last summer to just experiment, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Like, it's so.
But do you think if your kids were closer in age, it would be harder? Because what we see is, like, some of the kids just distract each other. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I think there is some challenges there, depending on age.
Yeah, and I'm
stuff, maybe.
speaking to. I have a 7 and a 2-year-old, so
Right.
I have no idea what it's like to have, like, more closer together, 3 of them. But I will say, like, what I can sit there with my 7 and 2-year-old, and I can make it happen very easily.
Yeah.
So I don't, and then I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. I can just speak
Yeah.
to our situation, but I will speak to the fact that I never thought I'd homeschool, and I thought it was going to be way more. It's way easier, I think, than waking your kids up, stressing about getting them dressed, breakfast, ready to go
Right,
taking
out
them
the
to school.
door.
Like,
Yeah.
we don't have any of that.
And then
you know?
then if they're in sports too, you don't see them all day, and then they got sports, and then you don't see them all
don't
day.
see your kids.
And when do you get a chance to impact your kids? Because as parents, I have to think one of the things we wanted to do was impact our kids positively, give to them a life or a knowledge base or something that we want to instill. And you have like 2 hours at the end of the night, maybe.
But again, what if these
Yeah.
kids were able to do it during the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, they were getting their school, and then they were getting their athletic development. Even if they didn't want to be athletes, we thought about offering some kind of, like, alternative. Like, there's these AI courses where you could do coding or you can do other stuff. It's kind of self-led.
Yeah.
So there'd be opportunities for those who maybe don't want to be sports specific. And again, our idea more is just, like, get these kids moving so they're not
Yeah.
sitting all day.
Yeah.
And then as they start to see some like talent at certain things, you can specialize them with like different things. But movement patterns are movement patterns. They all need those to be like articulate in the way they move.
Do you know Robert Farrell? He's out at CACC.
I keep seeing him as somebody I might know on
He's a good dude. He hosts they have a podcast out there at CACC, but he started another one called Elevate Springfield that he hosts. But him and his wife do something with homeschool. I don't know if they run it or if they're part of a group that, like, kind of homeschools I don't know if they do it together.
Yeah.
But I know he hosts like a prom. You
Oh,
know what I
really?
mean, and stuff like
Okay.
that. So you might
Might have to
touch
connect
base
with
with him.
Maybe
and
I'll
just
add
see.
him since Facebook keeps recommending it.
Yeah,
it's
he's a good dude. He's involved in a lot of stuff too. He's on the board of Local First right now.
Are you doing that one?
So we helped them get their new website up,
Okay.
and just streamline their membership. Like people signing up, they can just do it on their website right now.
Yeah.
And we were doing some marketing and stuff for them for a little while there.
Okay.
But yeah, we've kind of helped them get like a little more organized on some of that stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot whenever you're trying to get something together.
Yeah.
This feels easy though. I feel like there's been a lot of movement for the movement school. I feel like it's maybe going to be something real.
Yeah, that'd
What?
be cool.
There's just been, it's like we talk about God make it easy if you wanted to make it happen. Like it seems
Oh.
like we've had a lot of connections that are.
Yeah,
about-
we'll see. Next time we see him, we'll be
Yeah.
working on something.
Yeah. And I'm not like a big religious person, but I do believe that, things happen for a reason, and you have to be open to those opportunities
Yes.
when they arise.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know, I was talking to somebody that runs another business here in town. They don't own it, but they're just like, I'm kind of bored with this. Like I think I want to change. And I'm like, you're already started.
Mhm.
Like you're thinking about it. Like that you're open to a new opportunity. So just waiting for the right one to arise, or taking steps like of thinking what that might be, what you would like to do. Like, I mean, that's the first step, is just being open to it, open-minded to if a new opportunity comes your way.
And what are you good at? Like honestly, that goes a long way. Like what are you good at?
Yeah.
What can you kind of do? Like all our businesses just started. Like I didn't think they were going to blow up, and they did. Like
Yeah.
everything just took off.
Yeah, it's interesting how things work out like that.
Yep.
So what? I'm trying to think. Is there anything we haven't hit on? So you do some personal coaching and stuff like that?
We do all online health coaching, health, nutrition based coaching. Nutrition is where the foundation is. But overall, like if you want to increase your ass kickery, I will find a way. I view myself kind of as a health architect. I'm going to find a way to make you the best version of yourself possible.
And what do you call that business?
Malum Health Maximization, and I
Okay.
run it together.
Yeah, that
Nice.
one is actually kind of our main.
That's our main thing. Yeah, that
But it's
and
kind of like
Northeast.
one of those things. Like we don't really have trouble getting clients. It's kind of grown organically, and just word of mouth has been amazing. But
People just want to feel optimal.
people want to feel better,
Yeah.
and so just like if you want to do better financially, you can hire a health or a financial coach, or if you want to do better in your business, you hire a business coach. If you want to get from point A to point B a lot faster with your physical capacity, whether it's like reversing some kind of disease or losing weight or toning up or putting on muscle or whatever the goal may be, like hiring a coach is
Or
a
getting
game
pregnant.
changer.
We do that too.
And that's what we do.
Yeah.
Like any
That's-
health
it's
option.
fun,
It's fun to change lives. Like we've had people. Our recent client just had her baby. We've helped her and her husband kind of get through it, and it was honestly a beautiful thing to like see.
Yeah,
them
like I
happen.
mean,
Yeah.
so they were infertile,
They
and
were having
so
difficulty.
we were
Yeah.
able to like optimize some. It actually ended up being the gentleman, and we because they were looking. They always look at the girl first. What's wrong with the girl?
Right.
And it actually ended up being him, which is fine. But Brennan was able to. He already knew what like research he had to do, and already had it written down, and had him follow this protocol. And then boom, they got pregnant. And so that's like another example of just like optimization. Like what is your goal?
Yeah. It's interesting how everything comes down to a goal. I mean, everything we do here, whether
Yes.
we're making a video or a graphic or running ads, the first step is what's the goal?
What's the
of
goal?
this?
What's the goal?
What's the
And then
goal of this
work
video?
backwards.
What's
Define the goal.
What's the goal
Yes.
of this graphic? What's the goal?
Yeah.
And we start with what's the goal of the client.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do they want? More leads? They want better engagement? Like it's all like, all right, what's the goal and what are the steps to
That's
get
all
there?
life is. Most people never define it. Like they're
Yeah.
living through life without a defined goal, so they're struggling and they feel like they're empty. But it's because they've never defined a place where they're pointing towards. Like they're just wandering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find your goal. Figure out
Yeah,
what your
maybe.
goal
I like
is.
that,
though.
Figure the
What's the
steps
goal?
out. I think that's a good place to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on today.
Appreciate it.
If you haven't been out to, probably everyone's been to Poppo's, but since Fed is at Poppo's now, Fed and Poppo's, definitely check them out, pick up a meal. And it was great talking with you guys today.
You too.
Thanks for
Thanks,
having
buddy.
us.
Yep.